Hi, it's Fozzy on the North East Wales Metal Productions Unleashed channel on YouTube, and I am with the wonderful Necronautical. How are we, boys?
Very
Good.
well, very well.
Do you want to introduce yourselves and tell us who you are and what you play in the band?
Sure. My name is Russ, aka Not. I'm the vocalist and guitar player in Necronautical.
I am James Carcarian, guitarist in the band.
So the reason we are talking to you guys tonight is because we have you playing XS Wrexham on the 23rd of April. So do you want to tell us a bit about the tour that goes along with that and where else you're playing and what you've got up your sleeve to make people come out and watch you in Wrexham?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Wrexham is going to be the first of 5 dates we're doing around England and Wales. We were up in Scotland last month for a couple of shows. I don't like to say the UK if it's just England and Wales because people get left out, but we didn't leave anyone out is the point. So yeah, we're starting things off in Wrexham at XS, which we never played in Wrexham before, so excited and looking forward to meeting some new fans there hopefully. Then we're going to move on to Birmingham. Then we're going to go to play in London at the Cart and Horses. Then on the Saturday, we're in Ipswich at the Music Room. And on Sunday, we are in Brighton at the Green Door Store.
You've covered a decent area then with the tour this time. So it should be pretty cool. But,
we do our best. So.
So do you want to give us a bit of a background to the style of the band? Because you are black and death metal, so it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we probably fall under the black metal banner for most people. We'd probably say extreme metal. Our sound is, contains some of those genre staples like, extreme vocals, fast blast beats, fast riffs. But also I would say maybe more so than, your more fundamental sorts of black metal bands. We have a lot of melody in our riff writing. We make use of some melodic vocals from our bass player, a bit of orchestration and keyboard work, evocative maybe of bands like Emperor or Dimmu Borgir to some people. And yeah, progressive passages, some really heavy like death metal stuff. I don't want to say something really generic and lame like, oh, it's a big mixing bowl, but it is. Well, we think it's cool, and if you haven't heard it, you should check it out or come down and check out the show. And I think people who are into all styles of metal could certainly gain something from it. And even if you don't like it, we're still pretty entertaining anyway. So
that's always the main thing. I was going to say, so the name Necronautical, I believe it's kind of derived from Greek words, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I've done my own work.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing your homework. We put out that whole spiel about the Greek words because we were fed up with people thinking we were playing pirate metal, which would be a terrible thing to play. But so Necronautical. If you were a necronaut, you would be someone who is interested in trying to explore the afterlife, basically, sort of interest or experimentation with whatever lies on the other side. So necronautical broadly just means about the exploration of death, which we thought would be a pretty cool name for a band that was going to be exploring the theme of death.
It's also something I think that we like to have songs about as well. Like if you go through all the albums, a lot of it is that kind of exploration of those themes because it is a pretty endless well to dip into, and it fits the genre nicely.
Yeah, I was going to say, so history of the band. I think I'm right in saying you were formed probably what is it 2015, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a period like where we weren't active live, stretching back, a little bit before that. Like we started making some demos around about 2012, but no shows. And yeah, around about 2015, that's when we released our first album, like a demo album in 2014. Then we got a drummer, started playing live, and released our first proper album in 2016. So 2015 is a pretty good vague area to start in. But the roots of the band go back to like maybe 2011. We first started taking some steps. So it's been a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, because over the years you've done some fairly big tours with people like Winterfell. Trying to think who else. Stahlzarg that we've got coming up in September. Actually, that's another plug for New Metal Fest that's later in the year.
They come up as well. Have some shows with them soon. Yeah, we have maybe I think the Friday before we're with you in Wrexham. No, sorry, the Saturday. Forgive me. We're playing in Plymouth with Stahlzarg as well. So.
Oh, there you go. Well.
Yeah,
you never know. Maybe we'll hook you up again. We'll perhaps have a conversation about that one. Watch this space. Come on the 23rd first. See whether you like them, everyone at home, and then we'll we'll see if we can bring them back for you.
I mean that's a fair litmus test, isn't
it? So who's your favourite? Who's your favourite band to manage to get on tour with?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Totally don't know, you know.
We played with we toured with Winterfell, who Russ is now a member of, many years ago now. But there's a band who were the main support for them, Weegadood, who I adore and love. I think they're probably, as far as like what I'm a fan of, they're probably the biggest, my personal favorite band that we played with.
His answer there would have been Winterfell, but because I joined Winterfell, he can't like Winterfell anymore.
I can't. Yeah, I was a huge Winterfell fan until Russ joined the fan.
Yeah, I ruined it for them and for everyone, I think.
And for everyone, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we haven't done as much like international touring as we would have liked, but also like, you know, across some like festival bills and like individual lineups we've played. We played with some like pretty cool bands. We've done shows with Akakaka, we've shows with Tarka, Dark Funeral, Christian. And we played Inferno in Norway. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Yeah. And
so what you're saying is you've got massive pedigree with the bands that you've played with, and it's well worth getting down to XS Wrexham on the 23rd of April to come and watch Necronautical, because
that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line.
That's the crux of what this is all about.
That's 110% what it's all about.
Check that live. You should do.
I was going to say you'll have plenty of merch with you as well, I'm guessing. So for anyone who's out there,
if you're lucky, because everybody wants that.
Exactly.
Everybody wants it. So if you see it on the table, seize the moment.
Don't hesitate.
Do not hesitate, because who knows when we'll be bothered to restock it. It might never come back, so it's your only chance. XS Wrexham, get down there, get your T-shirt.
So writing processes for you guys. How do you go about it? Do you have a plan in mind before you just sort of write a song, or is there a theme that you come up with before you decide to stick some riffs down or anything like that?
No, it would be kind of nice to do it that way. We just sort of get to that. We've been in a fairly long-winded process through this last album. It's almost becoming a bit of a Chinese democracy situation over here, but we nearly finished it. I mean, we're sort of always writing, always sort of working towards the next release. That's kind of been a constant. Once we finish one, we start the other. And Yeah, to be honest, like what happens is we usually just throwing around riffs, ideas. I do pretty much the wealth of the recording myself in my own studio, so things kind of start off with making a few demos, really. And once a bit of that has happened, and we sort of gauge what we all sort of like, and everybody, James is like getting ideas in there, and like we start to see something take some form musically, then it's kind of a question of analyzing, like, how does this music feel, and kind of what was going on in life during the time when the music was created, because I feel like that feeling kind of innately seeps into the music that you're doing. If you're feeling melancholic, you're not really likely to be writing something particularly uplifting. So there is a reflection of real life in the music, I think. So once they're starting to get a bit of a feeling from what's already there, then a sort of theme will start to emerge, and we'll talk about it between ourselves. And then a big part of the writing process for me, and I think for all of us actually, is once the demos are sort of decided and we actually sequence them into what would be the album order, then it stops feeling like just fragments, and it starts to feel like a story to tell. You've got this overall vibe, and from that, that's what we really tried to capture with the other aspects, like the videos and the lyrics and the music, and the the whole package, the live performances, the videos, and everything. Starts to hone in on magnifying that theme that came from the music in the first place. So for example, like Slaying of the Spirit was very grandiose, kind of bombastic album, and we wanted to have these sort of like big, like epic, like bombastic artwork with a lot of detail and sort of movement in it, and like vibrancy, and sort of big themes and big questions, like that these soaring vocals could be asking. And so we really feel like it was well achieved on that one, whereas you compare that to the Apotheosis record, which I think had a sort of more melancholic, introspective kind of vibe, and you see that reflected in the sort of more sort of bleak look of the artwork, and the sort of grayish colors. And I feel like we always try and figure out what the vibe is, and then enhance the vibe for each release. Yeah.
I was going to say, from my point of view, when I listen to your music, do you specifically set out to make sure that you've got kind of the classical elements of black metal in there, and then kind of give it a modern twinge, or is that just a natural thing that comes to you guys?
I think, yeah, probably more of maybe a bit of both. We're not really trying to do anything necessarily like when we're writing stuff. There's no sort of like, oh, I think it would be more linear if we did do that. Like if we just sort of said, right, let's do something that sounds, like a melodic Black Death, like Dissection or something. Like, we could do that. But I think if we set out to do that, then we'd probably be accidentally imposing kind of a restriction, like, oh, well, we can't do that with them because it doesn't really fit the brief. We've never been like that. I think the black metal and extreme metal elements, like, they're certainly not forced. We don't think that we have to do those, but fundamentally, like, we like to. That's kind of our natural way around our instruments, really. Fast tremolo riffing. To me, that's a really normal way to write a melody line.
Yeah, I think if we sit down to play, like, figure out riffs or find new riffs, that's just what we play very naturally. But
yeah,
at the same time, if something we've written isn't particularly black metal, death metal, whatever, like, Russ has come out sometimes with these insane prog movements, and I'm like, I don't know how to begin to play that for a start. But then we'd never say, no, we can't do that because it doesn't fit what we do, because if we like it, we'll use it. And I think that's basically how it goes.
Yeah, and I think when we're doing that as well, we also have like faith that even if we do take some left turns, that it's not going to compromise the overall sort of sound of the band. It's not. I don't feel like we take left turns as such, but we do some unexpected things. But I think the reason we're able to trust that we're not like overhauling our sound or what people like about us is that the only rule has always been just for us to be happy with it. So that there are no rules, and I think we do have faith that in the end, once things are finished, like that weird prog section, for example, doesn't sound so out of place anymore, or whatever it is that we decide to throw in, because we tend to have pretty expansive, long songs, complex albums, etc. And across a 50-minute, hour-long listening period, those twists and turns are refreshing, and I think it's part of our USP. But the extreme metal staples that we're using, that's not forced. It's just another facet of the thing that we're kind of doing naturally. I think the only rule has ever been really just to be kind of artistically true to ourselves, really. And I think that's the only way to really make emotive, connective music, is if you are being genuine about it, So on the next record, the extreme metal staples certainly remain, and in fact, I think we've probably cranked that gauge up. If anything, it's to that degree more extreme than ever. But then even more left turns, but it still sounds like Necronautical. So I guess it's working for us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this new album. Right, fun questions. So you've not played in North Wales before. You're coming to Wrexham. What do you know about Wrexham?
Ryan Reynolds. He's got a football team there, I believe. Other than that, I don't really know too much about Wrexham, sadly.
Not enough. That's why we want to come, so we'll
have a little day out
so Wrexham. We can understand it.
We'll show you around where the football stadium is and all that sort of stuff, and hopefully have a nice gaggle of Wrexham people that come down and introduce themselves to you. And, you never know.
I do have a little piece of history with Wrexham, which I'll share with you, and that is that when I was a teenager, which wasn't very long ago, okay, like 20 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was starting my first black metal band, of which our not currently present bass player Matt, aka the Anchorite, was also a member. We recorded our first EP in Wrexham. So my first ever black metal recording was done there in Wrexham.
That's quite interesting. Which studio was it?
I was worried you'd ask me that.
Can you remember?
I was looking around my room because I've got this weird feeling. No, I'm going to let you down. That's not it. No, in that case, I really can't remember.
There you go. Right.
I thought I might have the CD. Change location, so I need to plug this in. I can't remember. It was only like a little sort of garage place. I remember it was down a sort of side road somewhere, so I'm not really giving you much help with that.
A side road in Wrexham somewhere.
Yeah. But also, interestingly, on that same occasion, Wrexham is also the place where I had my very first Wetherspoons. So,
there you go. Was it the Wetherspoons in the middle of town?
Presumably. How many are there?
I think there is only one. So
it was that one.
I was going to say So there you go. So if you worked in Wetherspoons, probably about 20 years ago, you may have met Russ.
You might have done.
Come and see him again on Wednesday, the 23rd of April.
Before it was legal for me to have one, so don't admit it.
I actually have another Wrexham fact.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
I met the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager in Wrexham once.
No way.
Comic-Con. Yeah.
One of the best days of my life.
At Wrexham University.
Yeah.
It's moved to Telford for a while, but it's I believe it's back in Wrexham again now. So there you go.
There you go.
So I want to say a huge thanks to James and Ross from Necronautical, who are playing in Wrexham on the 23rd of April, Wednesday the 23rd of April, with a Megathrone and Druids Cross. It's going to be a fantastic night. Doors are at 8 o'clock. Do get your tickets online. They are available on Eventbrite or Gigantic. So please come down Wednesday night in Wrexham. It's going to be heavy.
Well, yes, please do come and check us out for our first performance in Wrexham. We're really looking forward to it, as well as the song you're about to hear and songs from our back catalogue. We're also going to be playing some brand new unreleased songs at this show from our 5th album for the first time. So please do be there for that. And also, it's our first sort of handful of shows with our new drummer, Andras, who we're really excited about joining us as well. So if you weren't already persuaded, there's even more reason to come. So with a small taste of what you can expect, this is a song from our last record, Slaying in the Spirit. And this is called Necronautics.